recognize that you're going through something hard right now. And that pushing through isn't the answer, because as I'm sure you've seen already, when you try to just push through or shove it down or ignore it, it still pops up. Those emotions, those heavy, big emotions still pop up and weigh you down. And while intentional distraction actually can be helpful at times and sometimes even necessary, also giving yourself this space to process, acknowledge, and grieve is just as important. Because if you don't, as I mentioned earlier, it'll show up in other ways in your life, such as chronic stress, fatigue, pain, emotional outbursts. That when you give a name to the emotions and you're able to identify a clearly definable process, it creates space between you and the experience. Because here's the thing, you are not the experience itself. It's something that you're going through. It's a situation that you are in, but it is not you. And I know sometimes when you're going through an experience that can feel very overwhelming, all-consuming, all encompassing, you can start to identify yourself with the experience itself, right? And so when you start to understand and empower yourself with this knowledge and clarity and awareness, and are able to see that there is sort of this clearly defined process, you're able to name those emotions, it starts to create space around the experience, space between you and the experience, so you can look at it from a fresh perspective, right? Kind of that gives you kind of that bird's eye view, broadens out your perspective so that you can then move on to the next steps of the process with that fresh perspective, greater clarity moving forward. And from that space, you're able to create a plan of action to move forward from a place of greater intentionality instead of reactivity. Movement is actually such a powerful practice and such a powerful way to allow emotions, especially those really difficult, hard emotions, big emotions, to move through you and be processed through your body. So, you know, the word emotion actually comes from the Latin emovere, which is to move out. Those emotions are not meant to stay stuck inside. They're meant to move through you. And so movement, any sort of movement practice can be so helpful with that. So a radiant life starts from within. It starts with you. It starts with creating that stronger relationship, that loving, nurturing relationship with yourself, and then it radiates outward from there, right? That's how you create your radiant life.